Can't believe it's been 10 years since I started this journey, and what's crazy is I've been able to find some consistencies for over a year now of basically when I wake up in the morning, there's already $1,000 in sales, which is like insane to me. But what I want to talk about today is going over in the past 10 years, hang on, buses, the more funny, outright stupid, and failures that I've had throughout these 10 years. Warning, there's gonna be a lot. So I wrote down basically a list of it's a long list of all these failures I've had, and I'm just gonna share a few of them. And then I have a detailed post that goes over some of the ins and outs. But a wine accessory site. I had a store that basically sold wine accessories, and I got to the point where it was making like $1,000 a month, and I wanted to sell the site because I thought it was a cool idea, but I wasn't really passionate about it. So then when I launched it on a marketplace to sell websites on Shopify, I had interest, and this one guy seemed really nice, and we were talking, and we agreed that to sell the site for $5,000. He seemed genuine. He said he wanted to sell it on Venmo or transfer the money. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So he sent the money on Venmo, and I got it. Everything was fine and dandy. 3 days later, I go to log into Venmo to transfer it back to me, and I was banned from Venmo. My account was banned. So I contact Venmo. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And they said, not him, I broke Venmo's terms of service by doing a business transaction, which apparently you're not supposed to do. And he got the $5,000 back, and he had all my login credentials too. So it was apparently a very popular scam that people do on Venmo, and it was the first time I ever got scammed. The pickleballers.com. I don't know what the hell this was ever going to be, a blog or something. I spent countless amount of research into it. I did make a website at one eventually, but nothing ever came of it. The Hustle Style Store. A clothing store with cool shirts for hustlers and entrepreneurs. Just looking and saying it out loud now, it's no wonder why it sucked. Ooh, cryptocalculators.com. I literally thought I could get millions of views on simple calculators that are really investment calculators, but based on cryptocurrency. Nothing fancy, I just thought I was gonna ride the trend. Yeah, that bombed. Oh, so I have a massive YouTube failure. I bought, at one point, this is maybe over 5 years ago, I bought a YouTube channel that had around 200,000 subscribers on it for $3,000. 1 month later, after that happened, I got banned. Not me. That channel that I bought was permanently banned from monetization. So basically, it was like a straight up loss of $3,000. DanceSavesLives.org. This one hurts me a little bit, only because I loved it so much, blindly obsessed. I created a website. It was my very first e-commerce website, and it sold dance apparel and dance clothing, and we donated funds to go teach places that couldn't afford dance lessons. It's actually a cool concept, and we did help a lot. I did a ton of motivational speaking when I was in college, like at-risk schools, even did an international trip. Why I'm putting it here as a failure is because I did it all wrong. Before I even built a website, I bought 100 hats, 100 shirts, jackets, socks, sweatshirts. I basically had 800 units of inventory before I launched the site. Well, 8 years later, I still had boxes of that. And finally, when we moved to Ireland, I had to declutter, and I ended up dropping those boxes off at Goodwill. So it was, again, I learned a lot. My favorite aspects of it was going and inspiring people through dance. It was amazing, but the way I did it was just absolutely backwards. RoundNetWorld.com. I basically launched a site on the sport of Spikeball, and I completely overestimated the niche of Spikeball, thinking it was much bigger than it was. This was back in 2016. It wasn't a big loss of revenue, maybe a couple $100, but a ton of time that went into it. Let me do one more here for the video, and if you want to check out the more, you can check out the post. But recently, in the last 2 years, I was fooled. There was an opportunity to be basically a franchise owner in a health supplement, fitness supplement company, and I was drinking the Kool-Aid of these people hardcore. I went to an event, and I thought these people were literally the best, most brilliant entrepreneurs and marketers in the planet. 8 months into it, I had spent over $20,000 into ads trying to get this off the ground, and along with, there was like maybe 20 other people that were part of this, and it ended up being a sham. And you know, the money is not the part that I'm upset about. It was like the memory, basically. I legit remember telling my dad that like I was going to be a millionaire from this, and it ended up being a complete waste of time. It was like finding out that like your superhero wasn't actually bulletproof. It was a massive learning lesson, and definitely the last time that I'm ever gonna believe in the title and hype or even credentials of someone without properly vetting them myself. I probably could fill up your entire news feed of all the different failures that I've had. I just want to make clear that any success I've ever had has come with a crazy amount of struggle. I know I'm going to fail more in the future, but one thing that I think is common across my failures is they're never big enough to put me out of the game. I think that when you're trying to do something extraordinary, you're going to have to stomach more risk than the average person is willing to take. And so naturally, some of those risks don't work out. I want you to be successful. I hope you succeed. But more importantly, I know you're going to fail as well. And I hope the failures aren't big enough to knock you out of the game, but enough for you to remember the lifelong lessons that you'll learn from them.